Greetings and welcome to another video, and in this one today we are doing another episode of Passion for Games, and this week we are looking at Street Fighter 2 The World Warrior, and joining me as usual is Jeff Sasamisa1806. Hello mate.
Yeah, hello everybody.
Right, now this game, well, it's fair to say, after the first Street Fighter game, which wasn't really that good, this kind of really kick-started the fighting game genre, in my opinion. I mean, we'd had fighting games before, obviously, with, you know, Karate Champ and International Karate and all that sort of stuff, but this really took it up to another level with superhero-like characters.
Yeah, no argument here. I mean, I first saw it down Herne Bay, and it was one of them. I was surprised it didn't have a queue on it. I don't think people at that point had actually kind of cottoned on to just how big the phenomenon was. But yeah, I mean, when I had my first go on it, it was like, this is Street Fighter, but at a whole new level.
Yeah, I remember the first time I actually saw it being played in an arcade. I mean, I'd seen pictures of it in you know, magazines and what have you. But it was when I came to see you and we went to, I think it was Bexley Heath, and you basically showed me the game in an arcade, and I was like, God, fucking hell, this is something else.
Yeah, it is. I mean, for a start, you got 8 characters to play from. All right, Dio and Ken essentially are palette swaps of each other, just like they were in the original. This was the only other version where they were like that. After this, they kind of diverged. But yeah, I mean, 8 characters to play has instantly made your game 8 times more interesting than the original.
Yeah. Also, I should point out we're using the Japanese ROM set for this one, so the boss characters are going to have different names. If you're only used to playing the Western version of this game, then Balrog, Vega, and Bison are going to seem like they're all over the place because this is the Japanese original. Before they got worried about using Bison for Mike Tyson and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably why they refer to them as Boxer, Claw and Dictator in competitions, so there can be no mix-up.
No, I didn't know that, so yeah, that's interesting to know.
Yeah, I think I should point out as well that I actually bought the arcade version of this, PCB, for 20 quid. I think by the time I did get round to buying it, everyone had kind of moved on to Super Street Fighter 2, so the bolts were literally worthless. It was practically brand new. You know, an original bolt, not a bootleg like all the ones that had appeared in the arcades over the years, which it did lead to the later versions. You know, Capcom kind of took it to heart, all the variations, and that's why you ended up with Super Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter 0 and all the rest of it. 20 quid.
That's not bad. I seem to remember the first time you tried to buy it, they wanted like a grand for it or something, didn't they?
Yeah. This was about the time when dedicated machines died a death because arcade operators were not prepared to pay for a new machine for the sake of a game that had very little difference from the previous version. So kits started to appear, which knocked the prices down considerably.
Well, that's it. I mean, the jammer boards were literally like giant-sized Mega Drive cartridges, weren't they?
Yeah. The thing is as well, I mean, you pay like 1,000 quid for an arcade PCB, or 1,000 quid for a dedicated machine. You know, a game like Street Fighter 2, just like Space Invaders of old, because this literally, Space Invaders was the most popular game ever in the arcades, until this came out. And within a month, you would make your money back. It was pretty much like Outrun. You pay 30,000 quid for one of those sit-down machines, and you make your money back in 3 months. That's how popular it was.
Yeah, I mean, this machine did end up much like Space Invaders, having people queuing up for it. You know, this come out in 1991. By 92, you know, or later on, it was just mental.
Well, yeah, unlike the original Street Fighter, this one really, it became about the head-to-head. Yeah, the single-player game's fun, but it became about the head-to-head.
Right, well, here we go.
you would have people queuing up, you know, to want to play head-to-head to prove they were the best. Well, I obviously chose Chun Li, me being me. I mean, the first battle is usually very easy because the computer is literally at the lowest level. Even if you've got it on the hardest level of difficulty, the computer will not fight back.
Right, okay. Because you did make that look rather easy. Mind you saying that, even I can do the first level.
That quad kanji compound in the background actually says Furin Kazan. It was taken out of the later games. It's actually a very long translation for that. It means as swift as the wind, as quiet as the forest, as strong as fire, and as immovable as the mountain. It's kind of a nod to the fact that Dew is like dedicated to his martial arts to the extreme. That says all men will kneel before me. Basically. The quotes are very different in this compared to the American version. The American version, they probably chose something that was kind of close to one of the quotes from the Jap version and just went with it for the whole game, probably to save space, save time. But in the original Japanese version, they've all got multiple quotes. And as the games go on, they've got more and more quotes. But in the American versions, well, they just had the same quote. Usually it was wrongly translated as well. You know,
as is the norm.
Yeah, such as Shonglung instead of Shoryu Ken for Dew's Dragon Punch. That line there said, you're not much of a man. Aren't there any stronger opponents? See, very different from the I'm the strongest woman in the world, as it says in the American version.
Yeah, I mean, we were speaking about this earlier. I'm convinced a lot of the translations in the American or the Western version of this was kind of based around the kind of things as it was at the time WWF wrestlers used to say when they come out, because you are kind of playing larger than life superhero characters, and that's kind of the air the wrestlers were giving off when they these big muscly men that look like superheroes.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they don't really fit the characters. I mean, Zangief. Well, Zangief, he's like the kind of character that says he'll snap your arms off if he meets you again. I mean, you don't say that in the American version.
Well, he's not really snapping your arms off. Go on.
Yeah, this quote here actually had me confused. It actually says, like, you're no threat to me. Start from scratch. Which is pretty much telling him to start over. Give up, mate.
Yeah, that's by far the easiest bonus level with Chun Li, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Honda can do it a bit quicker with his underhand slap. But yeah, Dhalsim's quote, oh God, Guile.
Well, your favourite.
Yeah, Guile was essentially the deal breaker character. You know, Capcom admitted as much that he's designed to get you off the machine because he can do all these moves with no charge. They didn't even make a secret of it, Capcom. He can literally do his somersault kick with no charge. He could be walking along and then just do his somersault kick. No 2-second charge for him. So yeah, he is a real problem for Chun Li because if you try to jump at him, he will knock you out of the air. I got lucky there.
Another thing about this game is absolutely gorgeous backgrounds and that on it. I mean, they've really excelled themselves with the artwork on this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the way that floor kind of animates there actually needed a coprocessor. Because you notice how the floor kind of perspective kind of changes.
Yeah, it's kind of like really impressive parallax scrolling.
Yeah, they basically needed an extra coprocessor for that, which the original game didn't possess. I have to confess as well, I mean, me being me again, that Chun Li was probably cuter in the first game than she ever was in any of the later games. She started to look more and more butch as the games went on, and it kind of annoyed me, and I went off in preference to Cutting and Ingrid. Not Cutting in Street Fighter 5, that's for sure. Please, Ingrid, never appear in Street Fighter 5. Yeah, it went to the time, yeah. Incidentally, Chun Li says yatta there, which just means like hooray or I did it. She says the same quote there: "All men shall kneel before me." Yeah, Dhalsim's quote in the American version is kind of the antithesis of his Hindu lifestyle. I mean, he says, "I will meditate and then destroy you," but in the original Jap version, he just talks about, find enlightenment, or you'll never win. So he goes into all this spiritual stuff. But no, it's I'll murder you in the American version.
Yeah, it's somewhat different.
Yeah, she sure does show off a lot of leg, don't she, Chun Li, in this version?
To be fair, she's got quite muscly legs. She's got a lot of leg to show off.
Well, that movie is called Hyakuretsu King, which is like a 100 tear kick. So yeah, a special movie is based on how fast she can kick. Yeah, that's the same quote again. All men shall. She actually says that hurt at the beginning of it as well. Hurt, all men shall kneel before me. It always reminds me of a guy if you remember Bochu from Ya Kung Fu, you remember the fat character at the beginning that used to fly across the screen? That's who Honda reminds me of, when he does that jump in the air with his arms out. Flying McCudden, we used to call him, Bochu, because it reminded us of a big guy we used to have in our class at school, called Paul McCudden. Everyone used to say it looked like him.
Yeah, wouldn't have said it if they could hit, or if he could have hit like Honda.
He was a pretty big guy, I remember that. But I know he used to get upset when they said that, when they said, Bochu, that's you, isn't it? That sign in the background basically says Shabuadi, which is like, we have a winner. It flashes when either of the characters wins. That was the same quote from her again. I mean, the quotes are random. It will switch between one of three quotes. It said the same one there, all men shall kneel before me. I think that's where they got the I'm the strongest woman in the world from.
Yeah.
All men will kneel before me because I'm the strongest woman in the world, yeah.
I used to have real trouble trying to do this one.
Yeah, I think the bonus stages would have been a lot more fun if they'd been like Art of Fighting. In Art of Fighting, when you actually do a bonus stage, it gives you abilities when you complete it successfully. But this one, you don't really get anything, do you?
No, just
Ken,
points.
your favourite character.
But the reason for that goes back to, I think it was the Super Nintendo one, and everyone I ever played with on that, they always played Ryu, and I was like, well, no, I'm going to be something different. So alright, it's the same moves, and like you say, it's a palette swap character, but I just chose Ken, and he was just the character that I used to play all the time, because everyone else played his opposite. It was just me being different and fucking awkward, basically. And I kind of got used to how he plays in most of the different games, so I kind of stuck with him.
I find he's a bit easier than Dio, because Dio tends to just sit there throwing Hadoukens over and over and over. Same quote as Zangief's one, I think. You're no threat to me at all, start over.
Right, so had this been the Western version of the game, that would now say Balrog, not M. Bison.
Yeah.
But that is the original name of this character.
Yeah. He's probably a take either on Mike from the original Street Fighter or a deliberate Mike Tyson character. In Japan, it's not illegal to use character likenesses, as long as long as it isn't that person. So it's okay to use, and they do it all the time. I mean, Nonimano, who's in the later Street Fighter games, he is based on a real person. It's fine to use a character likeness as long as it isn't that character. That was the same quote again there. You're no threat to me, innit? Start from scratch. Or get a fresh start. Give up, basically. Yeah, Balrog or Vega. Vega sounds like it fits him better, don't it, really, being Spanish?
Yeah, it does.
A Balrog seemed like kind of an odd. I actually got a perfect on him straight away, but he gives me no end of grief in the second round. Because he's actually faster than Chun Li. He's the fastest character in the game.
Yeah, he is quick.
But he gave me a metric ton of grief in this round. I know when I played it the first time, I did a lot better. I got a lot more perfects, and I lost against bloody the dictator at the end, Bison Vega. You know, and it was like I just restarted. You know, I couldn't use that recording, and this one I only just win. But that game did go better until I got to the end. But yeah, I lost this flipping round, and annoyed the hell out of me.
Well, just the first one you've lost, innit?
Yeah.
He does zip about the screen, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. I mean, if you can stun him, look, you can re-stun him. I literally re-stunned him there. If you can get another 3 hits in on when he's stunned, it will stun him a second time. As the games went on, it became harder to stun him. That one there's the same quote again, you know. You're no threat to me at all. Get a fresh start, mate.
Trying to
But yeah, I think
barrel on your head.
I think the only versions I actually like Chun Li. I was okay with her character up to her Super Street Fighter 2, but when it got to the Zero series and they gave her that blasted motorbike outfit, I thought, no, this is Butch Chun Li. I ain't interested. They did give her this outfit back in 03. You could actually, I think if you press the 2-player button at the start, it gives her that outfit back. She did have a red outfit as well in the second game. I think she had 3 different colours in Super Street Fighter 2. But I kind of went off at Chun Li in the Zero series. I just didn't like her.
You know me, I just played Ken. Although,
yeah,
to be honest, when I first used to play Street Fighter, I actually did. The first character I started with was Chun Li because I knew how to do the spinning bird kick and that. So yeah, I did sort of start with her, but I very quickly moved on to Ken because, you know, when your opponents have always got, well, you made mincemeat out of Sagat. But yeah, when everyone you're fighting's always using a character that's throwing projectiles, it's very easy to get a character like that yourself.
It's kind of ironic there, actually. She said, you're not much of a man. Aren't there any stronger opponents? So I did murder him. I mean, that foot stomp of hers is actually very effective against Sagat because it cancels his tiger uppercut. But yeah, he gives me no end of grief. Fucking Bison Vega does. And again, he can do that. He can do his Psycho Crusher with no charge, which is really weird.
Yeah, I suppose that's one good thing about well, 03 we've played most. You at least you can see his bar building up, so you know when he's likely to do it or not. But in this one, he can do it whenever he wants. Yeah.
He was kind of overpowered in this one. They toned him right down in Championship Edition, or Street Fighter 2 Dash. You know, he was much easier. In fact, to be honest, the game itself was much easier. They rebalanced all the characters. Yeah, even Guile is much less likely to do his somersault kick.
Yeah, the less said about Super Street Fighter 2, the better. Yeah. Playing that as a single player is an absolute nightmare, even on easy.
It's true. And it depends again which version you play. The Japanese version is slightly easier, but the American version is murderously difficult. Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. It's a nice game to play doubles. It's a very bad game to play singles, unless you enjoy lots of pain. But yeah, I totally muffed the second round there. The thing is, I mean, he's got a lot of priority on those blasted jump kicks of his, and unless you use the light kick, you know, your move will not hit first. You know, she's probably one of the hardest characters to beat him with.
Yeah, he's certainly knocking you about a bit.
Yeah, this goes to the time, this does.
you certainly get your money's worth here for you. I don't know, what was Street Fighter? Was it 20p or 50p when it was in the arcade?
I think it was 20p when I first played it.
Cool, you only just won that
Yeah,
on the time, didn't
can't
you?
have been more than a pixel in that. Now, the story at the end is a little bit different in this version. I mean, for a start, that just says, like, Father, his wicked organisation is finished now. You know, please rest in peace. You know, I can't be brooding any longer. From today, I'm going to be a regular girl. You notice there's no mention of, like, drugs or...
No, none at all.
or stuff like that. It's like the original translation was... They either couldn't read it, couldn't fit it in the gap, or they just purposely changed it.
So when did all the Shadaloo stuff come in, or is that a Western invention?
No, that is actually in the original, but that didn't appear until the later games.
Right.
But yeah, it's almost like the Japanese version. It's a lot simpler than what the American version was talking about. I know a lot of the time it's down to just time. You know, I mean, essentially it is just a beat 'em up game, and it's most people are not really going to care about what the characters are saying.
Yeah.
You know, so they're not going to spend a lot of money. I mean, let's face it, professional translators charge a lot of money. You know, I can imagine when you translate something like, I don't know, Final Fantasy VII, when that was done, that must have took months, and it probably cost a bum.
Yeah, I would think so.
But a game like this, you know, does anybody really care what they say?
Yeah, you literally, all you need to find out in that bit is who won and who lost. I mean...
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose, like, the catchphrases of the characters in English, like I said, it's kind of like the sort of stuff American wrestlers shout at each other, like, you know, before they... You know, when they do that bit before any of the fighting starts, where they're talking to one of the hosts or something, you know, I'm going to break his neck and I'm going to do this. It's just that sort of thing. That's the way I've always seen it, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit different. They're more like taunts at the end of each bout. And as the games go on, there's more and more of them. I know when you get to like 0-3, you know, there's about 7 or 8 quotes from each character. I mean, Ingrid's ones I still haven't translated because she speaks like an old lady. A lot of her language is kind of inexplicable to me still. You know, even after 2 years of study. I mean, there was one line here from Chun Li where I was a bit confused that she was using deliberately polite language to sound impolite. You know, women tend to do that. You know, Mai does it all the time in King of Fighters. She will be polite to be condescending. Cutting does it as well in Street Fighter 03. She'll deliberately use, you know, a Joe Summer language, you know, ladylike language, you know, to basically sound condescending. It's something you don't get in English, but Japanese women do it all the time.
Well, we have got a playthrough of you completing it with Karin for 03, so that'll be one that we'll have a look at in the not too distant future.
Yeah, it's one with Ingrid as well, isn't there? Which went well at the start, and then it went awful towards the end. I did complete it, but yeah, it wasn't a good playthrough.
That was the PSP version, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's actually a very good version.
It is a very good version. So much so that I put it on my arcade cabinet.
Yeah, Double Upper doesn't work in MAME, does it? It doesn't run.
No, not yet. I mean, I don't know. I mean, my MAME's about 4 years old now, so it might do now. I don't know.
Yeah, Ingrid, she's a very technical character to play. I mean, Cutting, I'm not bad. I wouldn't say I was an expert with him. That Michael P is a lot better than I am with her. But I can play fairly competently with Cutting. I can do it on hard. Don't think I've ever done it on expert. I mean, this is on default settings, you know, factory settings. So, normal. I played it on normal with Ingrid as well.
Yeah, I find with this game, when we was playing fighting games a lot before the world went to bollocks, I used to find that when you first got here and we first started, like, got on the machine and started playing, for about the first 5 rounds, I would kick your ass, and then you'd warm up And that was it. It was like, yep, I'm not going to win another round at all tonight. I mean, once you get in the zone with stuff like this, for playing against me, I find you to be unstoppable.
Well, as I said in the description for my video, this video, I used to be able to complete the Super Nintendo version on the hardest level of difficulty with all 8 characters, but no, I don't play at that level anymore. As people will see when they're watching my Cutting and Ingrid ones, I'm competent, but not. A competition, I'd lose in the first round. My games are, well, my games, they're things like Wandering Souls and Hack and Slash. I was so tempted to start playing Hack and Slash again recently. They're my kind of games. They're thinking man's games. They're strategy games.
Yeah, well, if you start playing Hack and Slash again, I guess that's it. I'll see you in 3 months, innit?
Yeah, it takes 2 weeks to complete it with all 4 girls. But yeah, we'll have to do another Tahoe video at some point. Not Hack and Slash though, it takes too long.
Yeah, sod uploading a 28-hour video.
Well, I mean, it takes about 2.5 hours to complete, say, with one girl on the easiest level of difficulty. But yeah, if you want to go all the way to extra difficulty, you're looking at 10 days play.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll skip that one. All right. Well, we'll wrap this one up then. That's Street Fighter 2. No denying it's an absolute classic. It is up there with, regardless of whether anyone likes a fighting game or not, this is up there with Space Invaders, Outrun, all the classic games that people know from the arcade. This is one of them.
Yeah, it's a truly professional piece of software.
Yeah, and it's still well regarded today. So, yeah. Well, thanks for joining me yet again, mate, for another video.
Yeah, no problem.
And thanks to everyone for watching. But until the next video, laters.
Yep, laters.